The advice and opinions expressed by Dr. Granpeesheh and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. My son is leaving school in June of this year, age 19. He currently attends a school for severe learning disabilities and is diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and anxiety. There will be a break over the summer, and then he will enroll in a learning resource center. He has already been to visit it and has met the staff and knows some of the participants who attend. I have noticed a big increase in his anxiety over the last months. He is verbal and he has been able to talk about his worries. However, his OCD has become worse. I just wonder if this is a sign that there is much more going on with his anxiety. If he moves anything, he has to go back and move it again a specific number of times. I've had incidents where we have gotten into the car, but he has gotten out again to fix a mat at our front door, which has to be done a number of times. If anyone touches him, he has to rub his arm after being touched. He also has a verbal script which is repeated a lot during the day, especially when we get ready for school in the morning. He already takes 20 mgs of fluoxetine daily. Previously, we did change to another medication for OCD, but it made him more anxious and angrier, so we went back to fluoxetine. I'm just at a loss as what to do to try and help him. Any suggestions would be so much appreciated. And we're saying big hug to our friend, our Ireland friend.
Yes, yes. So, first of all, you're doing everything right. You just need to persist a little bit more and tweak a few things. So I'll talk about that. It's absolutely, totally natural for him to be experiencing anxiety. He's going into a whole new environment. He's stopping doing something that he's done all of his life, school, and now he's going to be in a very new environment, new people, new routine, new challenges, whatever it might be. So he is apprehensive, and this is increasing his anxiety, and increased anxiety will always correlate highly to increase in OCD, obsessive compulsive types of behavior. Because when you think about it, an obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, used to actually be under the anxiety chapter in the diagnostic manual. It used to be one of the anxiety disorders. They separated it and gave it its own heading and chapter because it has become so prevalent. But this does not mean that it is not related to anxiety. It very highly is. So it goes back to and this is what I was going to say, is that the reason anxiety and OCD are so highly correlated is that in obsessive compulsive disorder, when you have an obsession, it's really interesting if you analyze this. When you have a thought that is an obsession, that's the obsessive portion of OCD, it's an anxiety-provoking thought, and then you do the compulsion, the compulsive behavior, in order to control that anxiety. That's what OCD is. So I have a thought about there are germs on my body, and I have to swipe them away or wash my hands or whatever it is in order to get control of that very intrusive thought, okay? And it could be, the compulsions don't necessarily make sense at all, ever. Like, you know, you could have a obsessive thought about, I don't know, I'm not safe in this environment, and then your compulsion could be, I have to look at 5 objects in the room in order to kind of make things safe. They're not thoughts, the compulsions are not necessarily logical, I want to put it that way. But the fact that he has these OCD things increasing makes completely sense. So you have to do a few different things. One is, just to make things tolerable for right now, go back and talk to his physician, his psychiatrist, and discuss the medication. Fluoxetine is great. Maybe he needs an increase in dose. You can often increase dosage on SSRIs, and then later when you want, you can gradually decrease them. So that's one idea. The other idea is there are additional things that can be given in addition to the fluoxetine that might help curb the current kind of acute increase in anxiety, just to help him manage a little bit for the next, let's say, 4 months, 5 months or so, maybe 6 months, because you got to get him through the summer, right? So he's already started being apprehensive of something that's going to happen after the summer, and we're not even close to the summer yet. So you have like 6 months period of time where you want to really help him. What are other things you can do? I would really start focusing on what are the things that make him anxious about the new place. Perhaps if you can, after school or whenever there's a possibility you have to work it out with the new place, take him there frequently, go there. Familiarity reduces anxiety. So the more familiar he becomes with the new place, the less he's going to be anxious about it. Follow the routine that he would have and make it super, super fun. Like first we're going to go do this, and then, or get a teacher or someone from the new location, not a teacher, probably like someone in resource or whatever, you know, a vocational helper or whatever they might be called, and have them accompany him and have him do something in that new place that makes it his. He could help paint the walls. He could help clean up the location. He could help organize the materials. Something that makes it feel like, oh, this is kind of my place. I belong here. I'm going to know this place better than anyone else. Like help him become very comfortable and familiar in that space. And talk to him about what he's worried about, because a lot of times our kids will be able to tell us what they're worried about. And believe it or not, it's going to be very normal stuff. Like, you know, I'm worried I'm going to fail. I'm worried I'm going to be embarrassed in front of other people. I'm worried people are going to make fun of me. I'm worried I won't understand what the instructions are. I don't know what to do. So all of those things are ways that you can help him calm. Now, in addition to that, you can also give him some exercises that will help him calm down right now. So whenever he has the need to do some sort of obsessive thing, that's okay. You don't want to get in the way of the obsessive routine, but you can also, in addition to that, practice things like, let's meditate. Let's sit together and meditate and breathe in the morning especially. There's a lot of cognitive behavior therapy exercises that can help. I want to talk about this a little bit because it's going to come up in anything related to anxiety, really. Yeah. There's a multitude of different interventions for anxiety, but the one that I feel is the most effective is the whole concept of cognitive behavior therapy. And that starts with the idea that the things that cause us anxiety are thoughts. If we can control our thoughts, we can control how we feel about the anxiety that's going to be, resulting from our thoughts. So the concept with CBT is you're supposed to question. You're supposed to be aware of your own thoughts and then question them. For example, when I think about my new job or placement, I feel anxious because I think I will fail. So the thought is, I will fail. And then you sit and you question, why do you think you will fail? And let's figure out, A, practically what things we need to do to make sure you don't fail, but also B, what are the faulty, what we call cognitive distortions? What are the faulty things that are going on in your head? Like, do you think you'll fail because you've had lots of situations where you failed? Have you ever failed in this situation? How do you know that you're going to fail? So CBT generally works as long as you have kind of the ability to really be aware of your own thoughts and to analyze your own thoughts. And a lot of exercises go with CBT as well. For instance, waking up in the morning and writing down all of your negative thoughts that pop into your head during the course of the day. And then in the evening, making sure that you reverse them or question every single one. Like, what makes me think I might fail? What if I don't fail? What are the odds that I won't fail? What if I find people there who are going to be nicer to me than I've ever known in my life? So questioning and making sure that you also open your mind to the possibility of things actually working out instead of things failing.
Yeah.
So those are some things. So CBT exercises, just familiarity with the location, and making sure that you're on the right meds. I think those will get you through.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.